Welcome back, this is Overdrive, and joining me right now for Autoselector is Overdrive's editor Bertrand Dsouza. Bert, welcome to the show, but before we get to the questions, a quick final word on the Ford EcoSport. It all looks very impressive, but when will we see it in India?
Well, those of you looking for a Diwali bonanza, you'll have to rework your schedules again because Ford is expecting to get the EcoSport out in India by early 2013. Now that's if everything goes according to plan, and we are pretty confident that everything is on schedule. The EcoSport, we will see it early 2013.
Alright, moving to our viewer questions. Our first question this week comes in from Uday. He wants to buy a hatchback and needs help choosing a fuel efficient and trouble-free car in petrol. He doesn't want the Swift as he's had that car for the past few years. Is the Honda Jazz a good option? And more importantly, is that vehicle going to stay in the market? He's also looking at the new i20.
Well, you really haven't told me much about what your budget is like. So if I'm assuming that the same amount of money that you've spent before, you're looking at somewhat the same category, then the Swift is still your best option. We've tested it exhaustively and it's come out on top of all the other hatchbacks in that segment. Now the Jazz, well, the Jazz is a significant step up the ladder for you. That's because it's not just a fantastic package overall, but it's also a more expensive car than the Swift, at least in the petrol segment. I've had the Jazz for a long-term test and I was very, very impressed with that hatchback. I actually shouldn't call it a hatchback. It's a pretty large or almost close to an MPV segment small car. The i20, well, there's still some time for the new i20 to come out. We're not sure about what the specifications on that car are going to be as yet, but I'd expect Hyundai to spec it in a very fantastic manner. It's going to be very tempting, but that is again still a few months away. So if you're in a hurry, the Jazz, well, is a good enough upgrade for you.
And there have also been a lot of rumors, Bert, about Honda discontinuing the Jazz. Is that car going to be in the market? Can you be confident about that?
Well, I'd dispel all those rumors. They're just all rumors flying around the air right now, but there's really no ground to that. The Jazz is going to continue. It's going to be here. Honda is gung-ho about that car. It's dropped prices, it's made it more affordable, and they are pushing sales of that car at the moment.
Okay, up next is Mohit from Mumbai. He wants to buy a luxury sedan and wants to know if Jaguar has a car in the same price range as the A4, 3 Series and C-Class. If not, is the Volvo S60 a good option? He wants a luxurious and good-looking car to be driven around in the city, so petrol is not a problem.
No, Jaguar does not have an option for you, at least where the C-Class and the 3 Series are concerned. The S60, Volvo's entry-level sedan, is a fantastic car. It is phenomenally good looking, it's got fantastic interiors, it's a comfortable car, and well, it's a nice car to drive, not just be driven around in. But we've just done a comparison test of the Volvo S60 in this issue. It's compared against the Passat, and well, the results are going to surprise you, but in a nutshell, we tell you to consider the Passat as well. That is the winner of our test.
Thanks, Bert. Thank you so much for joining us. And for more on the magazine and for the very latest from the auto world, follow Bert on Twitter. His Twitter handle is BertrandOD, and he promises to put his tweeting on Overdrive as well.
Well, that's as soon as I shift from an iPhone to an iPhone rather, from my Nokia.
Okay, Bert, thank you for joining us again. We'll see you next week. Time now to move on to this week's motoring news, starting with Gaurav Gill's big win in the APRC.
Team MRF continued their great start to the 2012 APRC season with another double podium finish at the Rally of New Caledonia. The big change though was the winner, Indian national champion Gaurav Gill taking his first win of the season.
It's been a perfect start, couldn't have been better for me. The New Zealand rally was the first round. It took a little getting used to there because the roads, are very, very high speed and very, very precise driving is required most of the time. And this car is so modern that it's very overreactive, I would say, initially, and I was struggling with it, but yeah, it's been a great season so far, and the second round we could manage to notch up the win and have 9 fastest stages out of 19, so that's a great start to the season, yeah.
Not only was Gill up against a very competitive field and a teammate with many years of WRC experience, he was also running only his second rally in a left-hand drive car, which makes his pace and consistency this season even more impressive.
When you shift sides, the whole brain has to start functioning the other way around that it's not been used to, because all your life you've been used to driving on the right-hand side with a lot of stuff on your left-hand side, your co-driver on your left-hand side, and the whole chassis being shifted to the other side. It's a huge task, a huge challenge, but luckily I was able to do some test miles and got used to the left-hand drive pretty easy.
Can Team MRF build on this success? Keep watching this space for more on the Asia Pacific Rally Championship.